Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like. I'm your host, Phil Tubbs, and I have an awesome guest today. I had her husband on the first episode. He wrote the music for our podcast, the intros and the outros, and this lady has been very special to me. Very, very special. Aww. An amazing author. I have Julie freaking Jones here with me.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Phil.
Guys, me and Julie go way back.
Way back.
Way back. Like,
at least 10 years.
You knew me whenever I was like single, doing whatever the hell I wanted to do, Phil. Mm-hmm. Like, when
Indeed.
I still don't have it all together, but like, I really did not have it together back then.
I don't think any of us did. It's fine.
I think we all were just kind of just playing it by ear back then.
And we still are.
We just worked at the bank, and you just don't know what was going to come in the door.
You never did. Never.
You really didn't.
You didn't know what kind of... Yeah, that was a wild one.
I learned from you at the bank the full moons and new moons. You were like, you told me, and this has always stuck with me, and this is every time I know when it's getting to be a full moon. Mm-hmm. Because everybody starts acting weird. Yeah. And you're like, and we hear that. People go to the hospitals and stuff like that. And you're like, no, our bodies are made up of like, how much water? Mm-hmm. The moon controls our tides, the oceans, things like that. Our gravity, why wouldn't it affect us? And I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. That's like almost like a common sense thing when you think about it, you know? And I was like, oh, yeah. And so it's just always funny that I always know when it's coming around that time. And I'm like, full moon, guys. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I found out this. And they're like, where'd you read it or something? I'm like, nope. Friend Julie Jones. And they're like, is she like a doctor? I'm like, nope. It's Julie Jones. If you knew Julie, it's just, I don't have to say anything else. It's Julie Jones. She knows. She's like, I don't know. You're like an encyclopedia. You're like, you were almost like competitive with an AI. I would say you have the words. I don't know. You just you got it.
Stuff sticks in my brain for sure. The raccoon in there keeps very meticulous records.
What's going on? Yeah. See, I keep the records in there, but they're like, it's not filed correctly. It's just like throw it in there, and I go, oh yeah, where's that at? Yeah, oh there it is.
I cannot vouch for the filing system. It works for me. I don't think anyone else could find anything.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know me, I have a raccoon in my brain. And, that's just a little metaphor for the personification of, like, my subconscious, pretty much. But the raccoon keeps, like I said, pretty meticulous records. I remember things, and I connect dots, and I watch over long periods of time, and things like that. So I try to think about things. Makes me a good writer.
Absolutely amazing writer. So you're working on what number now? Is it 4? 5?
So I started book 4, and so here's something I haven't really announced anywhere. I'm going to announce it here on your podcast.
Here we go.
So I've decided actually to pause writing book 4.
Okay.
It's still going to happen. Mm-hmm. Reason being, I really want to make sure that, again, for anyone who isn't following me yet and doesn't know, I'm writing a Weird Western series. And I really want to make the first 3 books the best quality possible. Mm-hmm. And I think if I rush into writing book 4 right now, that's going to suffer. Mm-hmm. So I've already got an editor who is a local friend of mine working on editing for me. Should have that back by the end of this month. I've got a friend of mine that I've known for probably 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
Who's a very talented artist. His name is Steve Clark. He owns Superior Graphics. He's working on the cover art for me, and he sent me an update to what he's got so far. I think it was on Friday evening, and it's just out of this world. It's just above and beyond what it's so good.
You're not done yet?
It's so good, Phil. Like, I can't even explain it to you. And so honestly, seeing that was part of the reason I decided to pause book 4, because it's so good that I want the book to live up to what my friends are doing for me.
Yeah. You want it to make sure that art that they worked on so hard and
right.
all that, the editors that worked so hard on,
right.
they're gonna get they're gonna shine
their
with
work
it as
is going to
well.
shine.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, my friend Erica, I've known her for a long time. We were in a local writing group together. She's talented in ways that I'm not. She's strong in ways that I'm not.
Yeah.
She has a way with mood and atmosphere that's perfect for what I want for this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really wanted her to look at this specifically for me.
Yeah.
And so I really just want her talent to shine through, as well as, you know, and we're not going to change my story in any way. And she's never been that kind of an editor.
Yeah.
I've known her long
It's not
enough
like,
now.
I'll cut this all out of here.
Yeah, she approaches it more with the "have you considered" approach.
Yeah,
you know, or you know, I could really use more detail here if you wanted to put it in, kind of thing.
Yeah. Stuff that's going to make it kind of shine a little bit.
Shine a little
stuff
more.
Stuff that you didn't think about, because
Right.
like I said, it's always good to have a second pair of eyes or somebody to look at things and go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this
Absolutely.
is it. And it's great that we have that, you know, that especially here locally, we've got such an amazing group of people that we can even just get here that can do, like you said, all that with you, and all you guys shine and do that. And so yeah, I totally get where you're going from. Like, you don't want to just throw it out.
I don't want to just throw it out there. And so I think
it's your baby.
But it's my baby.
You want to make sure this lady, make sure that, you know, she's sitting there going,
these are my
and she goes,
brainchildren.
You're handing your baby to somebody. She's telling you what's going on. And It's great
Right.
that you can get that input. Have friends that, you know, have different skills that we can all just kind of grab here. You know,
That's the best part about cultivating community, you know, is that you can draw on that talent pool of friends that you've known forever and you can trust to deliver, you know, what you're looking for and will do a good job. And you've got, you know, you've seen their body of work. You know what they're capable of. You know what they're going to deliver. So, and, you know, I love where I live and I want to support the people around me. You know, a rising tide lifts all boats. So let's all rise together. That's kind of the point.
That's a goal, right?
It's the goal. And so, and that's part of, you know, why I wanted to be on your podcast and support this, because that's what your podcast is. That's the whole point of this.
That's the whole point of this. I believe that, you know, with this community coming together and these people, instead of arguing and fighting who's this or that, why we can all work together. It doesn't matter if even in the same industry. We can all work together. Because I promise you, there's plenty of work to go around for all of them.
Absolutely.
And so if we all work together, it just makes us all look better. It makes our community grow.
For sure.
Instead of, you know, getting pushback, we're growing and moving forward. And I mean, we have a primo spot here where we're at.
Couldn't get better.
Like, we're in a good place. I mean, you know, we get the tornadoes and things like that, but it makes us tough. You know,
Indeed.
It just makes it, people are like, I couldn't live in Oklahoma. You guys got crazy winters, hot summers, tornadoes, earthquakes. I'm like, yeah, floods.
Yeah, that earthquake we had a couple of weeks ago was pretty wild, wasn't it?
I was out. I didn't see. The one. Let's see. The really big one. I didn't feel it. I was out. Like, and the other one, I was awake and I was walking through and I was like, the house like made this weird noise. And I was like, what was that? And I was like, am I crazy or did I? Like, I went back, like, went to my security cameras. I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see anything. And I'm like, what was that noise? And then I like look at my phone. Oh, earthquake. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, I'm not crazy. Because I asked my kids, I'm like, did you hear that? I asked my wife, did you hear that? No. I'm like, I'm going crazy. It happens, you know? And but everybody's like, well, I couldn't live there. And I'm like, yeah, it's not. It's honestly not as bad as it sounds. It's not as scary. It really.
We say that having lived here our whole lives. You know, true. Australians say that about
I know
Australians.
You know, I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going there. Well, me and my wife have been watching that opal show that they have where these people go dig into the ground there in Australia and get the opal out. They're crazy. It's like kids like standing right next to the snake, and he's like, all right, one bite of that snake, you'll kill me in like 2 minutes. There's no additive in them. It's a poisonous snake. I'm like, why are you by it?
Right.
Walk away. Yeah.
Right.
So I get that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I probably wouldn't survive in a lot of other places.
I would not make it one winter in like Minnesota.
Yeah,
or someplace like that. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, and like New York City thing, that's just not my thing. So I guess we're good here, and that makes us strong. We're tough. We get that, and I don't even know where I was going with that one.
We were just talking about how great our community is, really.
Yeah. I mean, so you get it. It's really where, thanks for bringing me back on that. And it's only going to be growing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a huge amusement park that is literally starting to be built right now, 45 minutes away from us.
Right.
Where's the airport? It's in
Right
between
here.
Tulsa and the location.
Yep.
We have a highway that's going right past us.
Yep.
We have Route 66. I guarantee you there's going to be people that are driving in that are going to want to drive right down Route 66 because of what it is. And it literally goes right past our main street. It literally touches it.
You've
Our
heard
main street
about the
goes through it.
Ford and Shelby cars, the 50th Ford and Shelby Nationals that's coming here.
No, I did not win.
Oh goodness, I believe it's sometime next
We'll look it
month.
up. Really?
The
I'll
Bison
look
are
it up.
playing. Everyone.
Oh.
Yes, I think Saturday they're playing. But yeah, they moved that from Tulsa, I think Tulsa to here.
So, I mean, yeah.
Big stuff.
Big
And
stuff
I know
are
that
coming.
part of that draw has got to be Route
Oh, yeah.
66. It's got to be.
It's got to be. And
So-
we've got both easy access that's going to be coming up. You know, people are going to be flying into Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Joplin, things like that. It's going to be a huge boost here. So, like, we got big things that are coming. Like, I really think that if we all start to get together and we start to lift this up now, before it gets crazy and we start seeing a lot of tourists, because we're going to. I mean, we've got plenty of hotels here.
Yep.
So that's a good spot to stay. It's going to be a lot cheaper than staying right next to it. So there's going to be a lot of people here.
Sure, absolutely.
I think a lot of local restaurants and things are going to thrive with this coming. I'm excited. I get goosebumps. Like, I'm excited about it. The tax dollars, things that it's going to help because everybody gets upset about the roads aren't this fixed or this and that. You know how much that stuff costs? You don't realize what that costs.
Right.
And when it comes down to it, that money that goes into from our taxes isn't even a fraction to cover it.
Right.
You know, just to fix one street.
Right.
And so they can patch it up and do the best they can do. I think this is going to be great. I think it's going to increase everything right here. So we got a lot going for us coming. Like, this is going to be really big. And it's literally our backyard. So I mean, our local artists they're going to grow. I mean, there's going to be probably another place to play. They're going to be hiring musicians. You know they are. So there's going to be there's going to be able to grow in that. Like our local business owners, they're going to be thriving. I just think it's going to be awesome.
This is a great time really to capitalize on on the future.
Yeah.
You know, they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now.
Yep.
So we really need to be planting some trees so that, in 20 years we can be sitting in the shade.
Exactly. Like, I'm still surprised nobody's snagged up that land over there by Quick Trip.
It's weird that you mentioned that, because on the way here,
Did you see?
And I don't believe it's directly adjacent to Quick Trip. I think it's closer to Woody's.
Yeah.
But there's a new driveway and some activity going on. I have no idea what it is.
See? Maybe we got
Literally just
something,
noticed it on the way here.
That right there is a primo spot.
There's a lot of great locations right along there, and
we're going to have activity.
there's been some activity along that stretch of Highway 20. You know, the Racino keeps a lot of things alive out that direction, but Shipman's Veterinary just put in a nice new facility over there.
Right, yeah.
We have the outside barn is right over there, so people are kind of moving that direction.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like with the new bypass coming through, that probably a lot of the growth is going to be really more towards Verdigris.
Yeah.
But I had actually forgotten about the new theme park in Vanitas. So,
there's going to be a lot of change.
out north could be
Pryor is probably going to
a fast developing area too.
All that going towards Pryor is probably going to blow up.
It very well
Pryor,
could.
I mean, Pryor is probably, it's right there. They're going to be another one that's going to be growing.
They actually did just auction off on the corner of 4230 and 20, where the Dollar General is right there. There was that empty corner of just land, and it's all been recently auctioned, and there's some houses going in there now. So there's things going on.
Yeah, I see. I think now it's like, this is, if you're looking for a place to start growing your business or start a business or something, this is the time to do it because
if you can conceivably at all.
Yeah, it is. It may, people are, the economy's bad, blah, blah. No, our economy's about to boom, I think.
I hope so, but here's something to consider. If you can't do it right now, there's really nothing wrong with laying the foundations for doing it in a year or 2 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with making long-term plans and goals and working towards those.
It's not even going to be open until next year, so start working towards it. You know what I mean?
Who knows what things are going to be like in a year? Who knows what's going to be like in 2 years? You know, go ahead and start planning and building. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And whenever an opportune time presents itself, then you're ready to jump on it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, a lot of people will call that luck.
Yeah.
They'll see somebody jump on an opportunity and make good on it and say, boy, that person was lucky. Maybe. Were they? Or were they prepared? Had they spent a long time getting ready for that and thinking about it and preparing?
Yeah.
You know, what I found in a lot of industries, is the worst kept secret is the fact that everyone is a 10-year overnight success.
Yeah. It's...
Give her. I mean,
it's either going to be...
That's the general norm.
Yeah.
You're going to be a 10-year overnight success. Of course, there's extremes at either end.
Yes.
There's people who make it in 2 years, and people who don't get for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, you can find examples of all those.
Meeting the right people, things like that. You know, talking to people. It's how hard you work sometimes.
The greatest filter of all is persistence and how hard you work.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate filter.
I've noticed this the past couple of days when you say that like this morning, I went over to the Comic-Con, sat down with Jeff over there, and like when I woke up this morning, I'm like, I really don't want to go do that. Like, I'm just not in the mood today. I'm not ready to do it. I got up, got myself together, brushed my teeth, looked at myself, I'm like, no, just do it. Like, you just go do it. You're going to enjoy it, and I bet you will. You know, and
do future Phil a solid.
You can do this.
Go do this thing.
Because future Phil's going to be mad if you don't.
He sure will.
He's going to be mad.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, let's do it. You know, there's a lot of like getting up to go to work some days. I mean, it's really a struggle for me. My mornings are the worst. I used to be a morning person. I loved waking up early, get up, and just go. Like, that's what I like. Now I wake up, my bones are stiff. Like, my muscles are stiff. Like, I say my bones, like my bones are stiff.
Yes.
Like, and the muscles, like it don't work at all. And I'm like, and then my brain's just like, I'm not ready to get up yet. Like, you didn't get enough sleep. Even though you slept, you didn't sleep. You know, like, and I'm like, oh man. So every morning it's just a struggle. And the past about week, I have come in here in my office and I sit down, I turn on classical music. The Four Seasons, we all know it.
Yep.
And I honestly, if you've ever listened, it's like 40 something minutes long, all of it.
Yeah.
Most of us have only heard that very first snip, you know, and we all know.
Yeah.
But if you really get into it and start listening to it, you get in through spring, you get into summer. Summer, oh my gosh.
Crashing thunderstorms and big crescendos.
I mean,
it amps you
go
up.
in there, yeah. I mean, there's 6 minutes. It's like it's so I'm like I start crying, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on with me? Like, it just like comes. I'm like, because it just feel like I can feel the emotion in the music and the sound that somebody wrote, and it just chills me out. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. Stretch. I do my little old man workouts. I sit in my chair and do a few weights, and I'm like, I'm gonna start. You know, I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, I've lost all my muscle mass, everything from being sick and just not really doing much over this past year. And I was like, I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna start going, and that's what I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna be positive. So every morning I'm like, you get up. I'm getting up. I've got this. I can do this today. And then that little voice that was so loud that says, go back to bed, call into work. You can't do this today. I'm snipping at my kids. I'm snipping at my wife. Get ready for school. Come on. Everybody's stressed because I'm just boom.
Right.
And so I'm like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And that voice has now gotten easier to go.
Oh yeah.
You know, like get out of here. And it's still there.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. He's still there.
And some days he's going to be louder than others.
And I'm like, just do it. And then after I do it, I'm like, see, Phil, what you did that. And that was fun. Like, I'm tired of the fear, you know?
You're tired of the fear. But you learn that you can really control your mood.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with that. I think everybody kind of struggles with that, you know?
It does. Some days are just going to be worse.
Some days are just going to be worse, and some days there's things going on that you have no control over.
Yeah.
There's just bad stuff just happens.
Yep.
And you're not going to always react great to it. But all you can really do is just, give yourself the grace to move along and do better next time.
Yeah, like it's funny, like last night, it's what you do afterwards. If you do lose your temper, you do that. Like last night, I broke down. I was upset with my son. I told him, I'm trying to talk to my wife, and I'm like, quit yelling. He makes this like pterodactyl scream, and he just does it. He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm 99.9% he has ADHD as well, like his dad. And he just talk, and he makes noise.
But also he's 9.
And he's 9. Yes.
9-year-olds make noise.
He's good. And so and we get onto him a lot because we're like, quit making noises, quit yelling, quit talking, quit. You got to stop doing this. Got to teach
him to be respectful. Absolutely.
But at the same time, I don't do it in the right way. Sometimes what did I tell you? I told you, and then he breaks. Mm-hmm. And I seen that last night, and it hit me, and I was like, whoa, that was hard.
Yeah.
I was like, that was hard. And I said, come here. And I was talking, and as I'm talking to him, I'm slowly starting to calm. And I'm thinking at the same time, I'm going, chill out. And I go, okay, I'm sorry that I lost my temper, Bubba. And I said, I'm sorry that I haven't been very nice the past couple of years. With ups and downs, and Dad's working on himself. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said, but you know what? I said, I'm going to be here for you now. I said, you're good. You're a good kid. Don't ever think that you just get in trouble all the time. I said, because you don't. You're a kid.
Yeah.
I said, you are good. I was like, and I love you. And I said, I will be here. I don't want you to be afraid of me.
Yeah.
I said, I want you to come to me when you're afraid.
Yeah.
I said, do not be afraid of me. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And he was crying, and I was like, oh.
That was a good conversation to have.
It's something that I don't think we've ever really. We've always had a very strong just connection between us. He's been my little buddy.
Sure, absolutely.
It was a surprise for me, and we, I was like, I gotta step up and be a dad, and he's just been my best friend. Ever since.
Oh, for sure.
For 9 years,
absolutely.
That's been my best friend.
Yep.
And he was one of the best men at my wedding. And I think that I just felt that click with us last night, and I was like, because he's getting older, and it's like, what?
Yeah, you have to.
He's gonna
you have
be
to
double
treat them a
digits
little
this year.
different when they start getting older. Yeah. Definitely.
You've got 2.
I do.
And they're
older.
I can't even fathom how old they. It really every time. It just blows my mind how old they've gotten, how big they are.
I mean, if you keep feeding them, they grow up,
Oh, man. I just remember little Claire.
They were
so
very
small,
little when we
man.
met. Yeah, she was very small.
It blows my mind. It makes me feel old. It really does. I'm I see, we, our common friend Tiffany Burrito, we know her. Mm-hmm. We worked with her at the bank. Her daughter, she is huge. She plays basketball. She's got tattoos.
Oh,
and I'm
boy.
like, what? You were a baby. I remember you drawing pictures on your mom's desk.
Yeah.
What happened? It just blows my mind that that. But they grow so fast that it's just he's a smart kid. Gosh, that kid he's got it. We were at the store the other day, and he was talking about something, and the lady goes, he's gonna be an engineer, isn't he? And I said, and Tavia looked at me, she goes, his dad just said that the other night. I said, he's very great with numbers, and this should work, Dad.
Yeah.
And I said, he talks like the engineers that I used to work with over at the oil industry. When they would come in, they're like, oh, this is going to work. The numbers say this. And I'm like, but it doesn't. And they're like, but this says this. But if it does this, it goes here. And I'm like, but, that it was just what they would say, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know, though, because this is not connected here. You would go through that, that's what he sounds like when he talks to you.
I got to tell you, that stuff is just instinctual for some people.
Yeah.
And I would that's one of the things I would really like people to consider about folks who are or potentially are ADHD or on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Man, that can really be a superpower.
It can.
That can really be a superpower. You just have to direct it.
Figure out how to use it.
You got to figure out what that person is really attuned to.
Yeah.
And suited for, and let them do it.
I told him, he was like, what if I do something that, I told him, I was like, figure out how to channel that. If you're outside playing, scream all you want. Yeah. I said, go to town. I said, but if we're in the house, we don't, you can do it sometimes, but not all the time, just pterodactyl screaming about, we can't do that. I said, you got to figure out a way to figure out how to release that other energy. He's like, well, what if I figure out some other way and you tell me I can't do it? I said, that's why we're going to figure it out together. Because You don't know what it is yet. You
right.
haven't tried.
Let's test it.
Let's figure it out. I said, it'll take some time, but we'll figure it out. I said, if it's going and turning on the music in your room and dancing around just like a goober to get out that energy, to get it out, go for it.
Go for it.
You know, or if it's whatever it is, drawing pictures, whatever it feels like, get it out of there, you know. And I've got, you know, a 6-year-old who's on the spectrum as well, and she draws. Just draws, goes to town. Like I said, if you look at my wall in my office, that's not even a fraction of what art I have piled up that she brings me all of them, you know. And she gets into it. She's like, I got to get it done, you know. I've got to finish this, and then
there you go. You know what her superpower is.
And everybody goes, like, everybody else. This is my wife hates this too. She does not look like she's autistic. And you're like,
what does that look like?
What does that mean, you know? And you're like, yeah, she may talk to you, and she's very welcoming. Hi. She didn't used to be like that.
It's come a long way.
It's come a long way.
Yeah.
She used to cry when she would see my parents. When she would see, that didn't go, like, that wasn't very long. That was just a snippet. But we started seeing those differences, and luckily my wife has a master's in special education. She started to notice things early on. And we were able to get help. But still, it was, you know, you have a nonverbal child, you have things like that. Yeah, she wasn't always like that. She's grown substantially. She can count, I don't even know how high anymore, like over 100. She knows her alphabet. She brought me this list, a list that she made. Have fun. Let's play. And checking it, like, wrote these words, and they were spelled correctly.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm like, you're a genius. Like, people, like, if she wasn't on the spectrum, she wouldn't take those things like she does and absorb them and turn those. Yeah, it's a struggle some days. People, they only hear a lot of the good things, or they may hear a snippet on, you know, social media, and they're like, oh, I got ADHD too. You know, like, you don't realize what it is until, like, you really get hit.
Yeah.
And it may take a few years. I'm 35 years old, and I didn't even find out that I was ADHD until last year. And now that I am, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, and I start, like, as I, you know, going through this with my therapist and talking, like, that's ADHD?
Right.
And she's like, yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty common experience amongst folks once they really get diagnosed and start digging into it.
I said there, the first talk we had, she was like, have you ever been diagnosed with ADHD? I was like,
why would I?
No. And I was like, She's
well,
like,
we come from a different era, though, where that's just how you were.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that's just Uncle John. It's just how he is.
Too. We ran around outside. We burned off a lot of energy going just being out there. Now we have tablets, TVs, and every room, and all this stuff. So it is different times. So, you know, I do believe, like, their tablets have helped them a lot. They've learned a lot through those tablets, and they edit videos and pictures and stuff on those things because they're really getting into that. Dad does it, and they're like, look at this, Dad, you know, and they learn a lot from it. And I don't want to, like, downplay, like, oh, technology's terrible, we don't need to have our kids. There's a balance. You just got to balance it out.
Sure.
And
no social media.
I'm still. Oh yeah, no way. They don't get. He's not a play. He doesn't play Roblox anymore because he couldn't not talk to people.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, Bubba, I don't trust these people. I don't know them. They're too young.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. If you cannot talk to them, not talk to them, then you can't play.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
That's the boundary. Sorry.
And I gave him chances. We tried. You know, that's where we go. But and who knows? You know, in a couple years, maybe a year, whatever, we'll see where he's at. You know, and getting into a like being more. How do I say that? I don't want to say it without, like, being mean, but, like, just
protecting himself a little better.
I don't want him to know the world yet. He's a kid. They don't need to know that stuff.
Nope.
And I don't want him talking to those people because I don't know what that stuff's going to come out to.
Right.
And so I can't control it. So I control it.
You can control his access to it, though, can't you?
I can't control what they say, but I can control it.
That's right.
It's my house.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and I still want them to have that freedom to do those things too, but you got to have that balance. And I noticed, like, just with this weather change, my mood
So much better.
Oh, so much better. I just like I have my window open. I'm just sweating. I'm letting the sun just beat on the back of my head, you know, in my office while I'm working all that, because it's just like, I don't care if I'm sweating. Like, I'm getting some sun. It feels good. Like, I'm absorbing this. Like, this is nice. And it's so it has reserves. So getting outside and doing those things and running around, it really did probably benefit us more than we really thought.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
It is.
You
like,
know.
I know people will say, as an insult a lot of the time online, touch grass. You know, they'll tell somebody, you need to touch grass. Yeah, you probably really do need to touch some grass.
I used to be able to run down the gravel road barefoot.
Oh, absolutely. I never wore shoes in the summer.
Never. We were so in tune with the earth and ground. I mean,
all the time.
Don't get me started on the energy stuff. I've really been able to kind of like focusing, you know, and meditating and things like that. It really does.
I mean, yeah. And I literally grew up, my parents would send us outside in the morning, and if we were hungry, we were supposed to go to the garden and pick tomatoes and, you know, eat a cucumber and wash it off with the hose and eat. That was our snack, you know?
Yeah.
Like, don't come in till we tell you. Mm-hmm. You want to go swimming? Go swimming. That's fine.
That's,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go wander the woods. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, just come back once in every couple hours. Let us know you didn't get eaten by a bobcat or something.
Yeah. Just holler or something. Now, if I come outside and yell, you yell back.
Yell back. Yeah, exactly.
You usually can hear, like, is that Mom? Yeah, because we used to walk around, we'd go fishing at the ponds like 2 miles away, walking through our neighbors' fields out there. That's what we did. Me and my brother, which, you know, when I was about my son's age, no way I'm letting him walk 2 miles over to go fishing with a BB gun. Where, you know, like, in that.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other conversation.
We had a BB gun. We were going fishing one time. I jumped off of, I had it in my hand. Of course, I wasn't holding it right. I had my finger on the trigger. And I jumped off of this mound of dirt. And when I did, my finger hit the trigger. And it shot. And it didn't hit my brother directly. It hit the tackle box first and then hit him in the leg. And then he lost it.
Oh, no.
Oh, it hurts. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm crying. Don't tell Mom. She's going to take the gun away from us. He's like, I'm not going to tell Mom. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay. And like, yeah.
That is such a typically 80s scenario.
That happened. Like, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, we were bawling. And we're like, okay, all right, let's go fish. You know, because we were like, all right. And so we're like, we're going to go fishing. And so
it'll be fine. We just
walked around out. Like, that's what we did. We just had a heyday. We swung from trees. We climbed trees.
Yes.
You know, my mom is going to college now. Later on in life, she's like, I'm going back. I want to do what I want to do.
That's awesome.
And she's going, you know, she's going to be a teacher. And so she's doing, you know, early childhood development, things like that. And she's like, yeah, people, we get to, we're afraid our kids are going to get hurt. You know, and so we're like, don't climb that tree. You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
I've literally fallen, like, hanging off from a branch and fallen with the branch before, you know, maybe like 8 feet off the ground, and it hurt, but I got up and I walked it off, you know, and we were tougher. We weren't afraid of things. If I pick up a knife, my 4-year-old runs. She's afraid of knives. She's terrified.
Knives, yeah.
Today I was trying to help her, like let's do this, you know. I'm like these people, like I've kind of really hurt them more than help them, and in keeping that fear, not letting them try to do things and try to do, like, I'm noticing that I'm not letting them just let me do it. I need to hurry up and go. We gotta go. Let me do it. So instead of letting my son brush his hair, I do it so that we can get out the door and get it going, because he takes his time.
Yeah.
But those are skills he needs to learn.
For sure.
And he still struggles. When I let him brush his hair by himself, he still struggles on getting it right, you know? And he's like, I don't know how to do it yet, because I never let him.
Because failure is a big part of success.
And so, like...
It might be the main component of success, actually.
Right?
You got to fail a lot.
You fail a lot.
You got to fail a lot to figure out, like, again, that goes back to the 10-year, you're going to fail for about 10 years. And then you'll start figuring some stuff out and, like, making the right connections, and you'll start getting somewhere.
You'll get there.
And that's not true of every industry, you know.
Yeah.
But it is true. You know, I just wish that... You know, kind of going back to talking about our kids and stuff, I just wish that we lived in the kind of society that encouraged writing and video editing and art and painting and dance and music. And, you know, we live in a pretty good area where, you know, my kids' school really does emphasize music and things like that. And I know a lot of the schools around here do. But man, that's sadly lacking.
Yeah.
It's sadly lacking, and it's kind of frightening the way things are going with, I know AI is the way of the future, and it's this great tool, and it's useful in a lot of ways, but man, it's really not doing the artist community.
I mean, have
right.
we not watched WALL-E? I mean, really, people can throw something out there and say, I wrote this.
Sure.
And they didn't.
Mm-hmm. I was reading an anecdote yesterday about a politician that had hired a staff writer for his campaign, and they, based on her samples that she had given, and they were going to have to let her go because AI had done all of it, and she couldn't do the job. Yeah. Pretty much.
There is a good place for it to help. I've noticed that a lot. There's a lot that can if I don't know, like something like, hey, can I do this licensing? Like, if I do, like with music and things now, I got to make sure, because if I don't, somebody,
you got to fact check it.
Yeah. And so if I don't get my, I talk to ChatGPT, like, hey, like, what do I have to do for licensing? If I do this, like, where can I go? It tells me. It helps me, instead of me having to go to Google and try to go through a bunch of different stuff.
It can sift through a lot of that.
So it helps me out, and it gets me to those. It helps get me there. But at the same time, I can't just have it write everything, because it's
No, it's not you.
It's not you.
It's never going to have your voice.
If you've ever read something that somebody puts in there that comes out, you're like, that sounds really good, but like, that sounds fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you get there?
And I think what you're really kind of talking about here is sort of the difference between generative AI and assisted AI. So, if you're using it if you want it to grammar check something for you,
hey,
have at.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make a book cover with it, I've got issues with that, because, it's making a collage of other people's work, basically, is what it's doing. It
takes everything from the internet.
Yeah, it's been scraped from people without their permission or knowledge in a lot of situations. Yeah. Last October, I went to a writing conference in Eureka Springs, the Ozark Writers Conference, and it was a good conference, had a good time, and I went mainly because Jane Friedman was the keynote speaker. And I was interested in hearing her talk because she had recently had, I want to say, about 10 or 12 books published on Amazon that she did not publish. She didn't write them. She didn't have anything to do with them. They were all AI generated, and someone was profiting off of her name, pretty much, is what it boiled down to. And Amazon at the time wasn't particularly, they weren't immediately as concerned as they should have been. Yeah. Ultimately, they did help her clean everything up, and they pulled them down, and I believe they even issued a statement that said, we're done. We're not doing that. But I just kind of wanted to hear what she had to say about it. And she was actually a delightful keynote. She was really interesting in a lot of ways other than the topic of AI, but she basically just kind of issued a warning to folks, be careful of what's going on. Keep an eye on it. Here's kind of where the line is as we understand it and see it right now. Where there aren't really any laws in place. No. There were panels about this. I just got back from Superstars. It's a writing conference in Colorado Springs that I go to every year. This is my third year. And there were several panels on AI. Really? And in a lot of ways, it can be really helpful if you're wanting it to fact check something. Yeah. One thing that I learned that might be useful for you or anyone else who's listening, when you input your prompt, tell ChatGPT, if you don't know the answer, say I don't know. Yeah. So that'll give you some. Try to think. Well, it will help cut back on it just kind of making up things to make you feel like to give you an answer. And so I kind of thought that was a pretty good tip, even though I literally have never even looked at ChatGPT myself. Yeah. I'm really bad at those AI tools. I'm going to be honest with you. I am so bad at them. I was not very good with the chat. Like, it's funny. Like me, like I've kind of gotten mine. So, like, I think it learns from you. Like, probably. It really does. And it will. It's creepy. Like, it's almost like a conversation sometimes. Whenever I'm like, we're talking about things. Like, it's. I say that weirdly. We're talking about things. It's weird, but we do. Like, it's like I'm having a conversation with a person. Yeah. Like a friend. There were people at this conference that said they use ChatGPT as their therapist.
Right.
It makes a great therapist.
I could
because
see
it's
it.
unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because it will tell you, like, there's, you know, legal answers like, well, you can do this, but.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, because there's, I mean, like you said, people, there's things on, like, social media now that you'll flip it through that, I wrote a book with AI and I got this much money, right? We can teach you how. That's
Can I just tell you that the writing community is so offended by that?
It's coming. Like, it is like, I made $56,000 in 3 months, you know.
We are so, if it even smacks of a get-rich-quick scheme, we are highly offended by it every time because, again, 10-year overnight success.
Yeah.
There's, if you want to do this well and you really want to be a craftsman,
yeah,
you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts.
Because obviously when I met you, you weren't really writing.
I
right?
was not
you were
at that
like,
time
you weren't
writing.
Going. You were hadn't done it yet.
No, I hadn't. As a matter of fact, I left the bank and I went to work for a financial advisor in Collinsville, and it was much slower paced than the bank was. You know, the bank was crazy. And I kind of had the brain space to start thinking to myself, you know, I bet I could get back into some writing. I really enjoyed doing that when I was young. And I took creative writing in college, and I took poetry in college, and I, you know, was a pretty accomplished student journalist when I was in high school. I always enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I found a class at the Tech Center, Northeast Tech, creative writing class. In the evenings, I think 2 nights a week, and I thought I can do that, you know, because the kids were young at the time, and it's hard to do anything when you got young. Hats off to anybody with young kids doing anything creative. My hat is off. But the kids were old enough, and I thought I could do 2 nights a week, and, you know, my husband's always been super supportive of, he's like, yeah, go do it.
Steve's a dude.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's always been that way, and, you know, it's great that we kind of have our little parallel things that we do. You know, he plays guitar and I write, but there's enough we can talk shop. There's crossover.
Yeah. I will say this, like, I know I told Steve, like, I watched him, you know, when I was at that younger age of my life. You know, I'm not that far behind you guys, but you know, I'm still a little bit younger. You guys you've experienced things before me, you know, and you were able to do it. But I watched him, you know, as a dad and what he was doing and working and hard, just going at it. And I'm like, and he's always like, yeah, he's not the most talkative guy, but I mean, he's a lot more talkative now than he was when I met him back there. I'll tell you that. But he's just always cheerful. He's always super
maybe with
nice.
you guys.
Well, he was with me. That's true. I say this, I know. Everybody, I guess this is a different view, I guess. I see it. But he was always like that with me, though. Yeah. You know, with me, anyways. Because I know, he's one of those, like, he sometimes leave me alone. So are you.
He likes to observe. We're observers before we really start yakking.
We've done plenty of observing. But, you know, like, you guys are like, I don't want to say perfect because there's no perfection, but you guys are like what I see as a relationship, and I'm like, that's a marriage that I want to be, like, I would want to have, you know, and that kind of, because you guys mesh so well together. Yeah, you don't get along and everything. I get that. Nobody ever does. We, you know, my wife, we hang out all the time. We don't always get along. We don't always agree. That's fine. But you guys make things work. Like, and even then, you know, you guys work well together, and you are a team. Yeah. It's like we're best friends. It's Julie and Steve. It's not, you know, like, that's what it's always been, Julie and Steve. You guys are such a mesh that you guys, you know, he comes in and helps you with that, and he's like, yeah, go do that.
Oh,
you know, and you started doing that, and then
we've always been supportive of what, you know, early on in our marriage, he had a black belt when we met. And
we didn't even talk about that. He even said, I forgot about that.
He's such a cool dude. There's so much to talk about with him.
That. I watched him break a board in the air.
Is that not the coolest thing ever?
Like, legit.
Yeah. Didn't you kind of want to marry him yourself?
I did. Like, this is before I could grow a beard, and I was like obsessed. Like, I want to have a beard, and he had a beard. He's like, breaking in the air. Yeah,
it's something else. So yeah, he's deadly with a pair of sticks.
Sorry, I got off that part. But
yeah, so early on, we lived in Tulsa, and he kind of wanted to get back into martial arts, and there was a friend of his was taking kung fu. So he did Kung Fu for about 2 years. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's, different discipline, but
Yeah.
same ideals, I
Yeah.
guess would be kind of a good way to put it. So, and then, we moved out to Claremore in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Actually the end of this month will be our 21st year out here, the 28th. We love it here.
Yeah, it's a good place.
But we moved out here and we had enough room to have dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had motorcycles forever.
Yeah.
And he's always ridden and stuff. And so kind of got back into bikes. And
Mm-hmm.
God, we've had, I don't even know how many bikes over the years. And so we went through that phase.
Mm-hmm.
And he raced motocross for a little bit. And, then he kind of picked up the guitar again, which I'm really glad because
Yeah.
a lot less likely to die or
Yeah.
bust your knees or something like that.
Yeah.
Playing guitar
Yeah.
than you are on a dirt bike.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I've done my things off and on.
Yeah.
I love gardening. I'm really into plants, and I've had I've pared it way back since I started writing seriously. But for a while, I had some pretty wild gardens going on. I built a fish pond, like an ornamental pond with a waterfall in the side yard, and like all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, but throughout the years we've just always kind of gone along with what the other, who the other person is becoming in that moment. And if you're married to someone long enough, you're going to be married to 5 or 6 different people.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
So you might as well just go with it and be their best
already
friend and bear witness to their life and
be there.
love them.
Yeah.
And that's just, and God, it makes life so much easier.
Yeah. Like,
It's so much easier to go through life if you can get it with a spouse that loves you and builds a life with you and supports what you're doing.
I'll tell you, like, my wife, she's like the rock. Like, she is my rock. And like, I'll tell you, I honestly don't deserve that woman at all. I do not. Like, I've made plenty of my mistakes, and it's fun. Like, we were talking the other day. I like, it's not. I noticed something, and I was like, a lot of our friends are not together anymore. And it's sad. It hurts my heart.
Yeah,
it really does
tough.
because they were. I love them. I've known them as a couple for so long that it's what it was.
Yeah,
and it hurts. And I'm like, I told my wife, I said, I'm amazed that we've made it here. I'm thankful we've made it here because others have failed, and I don't want to downplay anybody's problems or anything like that, but I feel like what I did was probably worse than some of this, and I wasn't the best. I made mistakes, and I own up to that.
Yeah.
And we're still here.
Yeah.
And we still bicker, we still get in fights, we still get mad at each other. We're growing together right now, and we're both in that stage where we hit 35, and we're like, what is going on? What are we supposed to, like, what am I doing when I grow up? Wait, I'm already grown up. Oh no. What? It's one of those things, and we're both kind of like trying to figure stuff out. We have, dealing with their kids, and it's just, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
The world is scary.
I don't think people pay enough attention to, like, the quarter life crisis.
No, they don't.
They don't really understand there's about a 10-year gap there between about 25 and 35 where you kind of lose your mind and you don't know what's what.
Yeah.
You
think you're gonna do this, or you're trying that, and it just you don't know. You don't know. You kind. I mean.
And if you're lucky, you find friends who set good examples for you. Steve and I had the benefit of that ourselves. We've had friends and family along the way that have demonstrated for us the right path to take. And so that's, again, you pay it forward to the people you care about. You kind of show them, like, hey, here's how we're doing it.
Yeah. It seems to be going pretty good so far. So.
It's working for us.
Like, you try.
Pro-life tip.
Yeah.
With no expectations. People will do as they do, and you should accept that too.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like I've been waiting my whole life for everybody to realize that we should just, like, mind our own business and love each other. And, as long as you're not hurting kids, old people, or animals, I don't really care what you're doing.
Yeah.
Truly.
I've kind of got to that point.
I don't want to say I don't care. That's not the right word. I don't mind what you're doing.
You do what you do.
You don't need
what
my
you do.
permission.
Yeah. You do what you do on your own time. I don't care. I grew up in church, and so and there was a lot of that was you don't associate with that. And nothing bad against church. It has it did have a place in my life, and but when I got out of school and I started into the world, I met people that were just normal people. I met Satanists. I was in the music industry, right out of high school, so I met people from all over the world, and these people were amazing, great people, nice, most of them. I mean, you get your rock stars there and there, but or your rap artists. They're
not all the bison.
They're not all the bison. That is 100%. And I met these people. And I'm like, they're good people. And I started to, I still had that, like, I look at things even I said a year ago, 2 years ago in my life, and I go, well, what was I thinking? Like, I've changed from them, and I thought, I've gotten more serious about things, and I have more empathy. I've noticed, like, shit happens. Forrest Gump. Man, you just threw a big old pile of dog shit. And he's like,
it happens.
It happens. What? Shit? Yep.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Whatever,
whatever. Boom. Yeah, so like then he hits a truck. Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. You don't know what that person's going through.
Right.
There's a lot of diseases, a lot of sicknesses that you do not see. You do not see them. They're not limping. They're not like Julie Jones is right now.
Yeah. We didn't tell everybody.
We didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah.
I just looked over and saw the cane, and as I said, limping.
Yeah.
Julie's got a cane. She's hurt her ankle.
I was testing to see if my superpowers have come in yet. They have not manifested.
Not
but
yet.
In the meantime, I walked off my deck like Wile E. Coyote yesterday, and it was not pretty. So I'm limping today.
Yeah. So sometimes they're not. You
just gotta roll with it.
Yeah,
I literally rolled with it yesterday because if I hadn't rolled, I might have broken my arm too.
You just tuck and roll.
Yeah, tuck and roll, baby. And all joking aside, you just almost have to approach life that way. And I know people will say, "Well, that's easier said than done." I agree.
100% is.
I agree. It is.
100%.
Everything is a skill, okay? Learning how to control your emotions and learning how to build a community around yourself. Mm-hmm. Those are all skills.
Yeah.
And you can't do it alone. So, kind of just bringing our conversation back to Rogers County because, that's sort of the focus of our podcast. I would really encourage everybody to just go get involved in the community.
Yeah.
And you don't have to volunteer at every event. Yeah. Start with Food Truck Thursdays. Go down to Food Truck Thursdays when they have them. I believe it's from May to October.
Yeah.
Go check out the little stores along Main Street.
Just show up.
Start talking to people.
Yeah. Introduce
yourself to John Fury.
Yeah.
That's our city manager. Introduce yourself to Alan Dietzfeld. She's our Main Street coordinator. Introduce yourself to, Ashley May or Barbie Myers with the chamber.
Yeah.
Ask them how you can get involved because honestly, if you don't know what's happening in the town, you can't really. You can offer an opinion, but it's not going to be an informed opinion.
And it's not going to do any good.
And it's not. Well,
I mean.
It'll just be a different opinion if you have a fuller picture of what's going on.
Yeah, it's not saying that you're wrong. It's just saying that it's not maybe completely all there. Right?
It's just one of the things that I've kind of noticed is that folks don't even really know the distinction between, like, what's city streets and what's ODOT.
Yeah.
Just as a easy example. They'll gripe about something that's under ODOT's purview.
Yep.
And that stuff gets real tiresome, like and I understand not everybody sees everything, and it's, there's new people coming into town all the time, but there again, that goes back to go get involved.
Yeah.
Go to the city council meetings, go to the board of county commissioners meetings. Pretty sure they're
I
open
watch
to
them.
the public.
They're online. If
The
you don't want to show up,
BOCC meetings are online. Yeah.
so are city councils. You
Yeah.
can I watch them on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can
That's
tell
how I
you,
watch
Ron
them.
Burrows is a very nice man.
Mhm.
Steve Hendricks is a nice guy.
We've got. I really truly believe our city council where we're at now. These are good people that are ready to.
They want to do
grow.
well.
They want this to be. They're not
Yes.
looking for now. They're looking even towards the future of what
Correct.
Claremore is going to be. It's not like we're going to come in here and make ourselves look good and try to fix this. They're working to going. Nobody's ever going to know what we started here, and trying to work towards. I talked a little bit with Debbie, our mayor, and we were talking about her being on the podcast, and she's going to be on the podcast, and we got into it. She's like, her idea is not right now. She wants to move toward, because we can't just jump in and do it. People think this or that. Oh well, our utilities are too high, or this is it. They can't just stop doing something.
Right.
We can't just go, okay, that's it.
Right.
We have to have a plan and process going into it, because it'll fail, it'll crumble.
Right.
And so they're right now working in that process to making Claremore better. Mm-hmm. Sometimes
We have
there's
so
but
many
guess what?
great people.
There's not any town is not going to be perfect.
No.
And so
of
we
course
complain.
not.
We all want to pick point in these little things. These people are working hard.
Yes.
They are working hard.
Yes.
They're not all like city council is not a full-time job. People don't realize that either.
No.
That's not a full. These people have jobs.
Yep.
They have businesses they're running.
Yep. All of them.
They're doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, putting that extra time that they have left, they're taking away from their families. They're taking away from not just our leaders, our artists, our business owners.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking time away from that to help our community.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
A lot of what goes on in this
this
town is on a volunteer basis.
A lot of it is.
A lot of it.
Yeah, and then we yell. Then we get onto these people that are volunteering and giving their time and doing this and making time to make our community better, and we yell at them.
Right.
They're not getting paid a dime. They're doing that to sacrifice for us, and we don't realize this. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to do this podcast too, is to kind of get that out there. Like, these are people.
They are people with feelings
remember
and
that?
lives, and they truly, I can tell you this because I know them. They care.
Yeah.
They care about Claremore. They care about Rogers County. You know, they want the best for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this because I know them.
Yeah.
And
You've talked to them.
Well, I've talked to them. I sit on the board of Leadership Rogers County.
Mm-hmm.
I love Leadership Rogers County. It's one of the best things we've got going for us.
Yeah.
And anyone that would like to sign up for that, I strongly encourage you. Anybody that wants to do it.
Yeah.
But especially if you're a business owner, especially if you want to be involved in local politics, especially if you want to be involved in local tourism.
Yeah.
Anything where you want to be involved in the community, look into Leadership Rogers County, because it will teach you so much about what goes on here.
Yeah.
It will show you the back side of things, where things like the nuts and bolts are made and where things are actually happening. People are turning wrenches back there.
Mm-hmm.
Go see those things. Go see the amazing things that we have here.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that we have a full television station and radio station right up on the hill
On
at
the hill.
RSU.
Yeah.
We have 3 bookstores in this town, Phil.
Yep.
3.
3.
Do you know how
3.
lucky we are?
To even have one.
We have boarding house, we have the same page, and we have the RSU bookstore.
Yep. Right. So.
Not to mention, if you want to drive to Pryor, which I know we're here talking about Rogers County,
But still, right down the road.
but the Book Exchange is a fabulous bookstore. It's been there 44 years. I love that
So
bookstore.
there's all kinds of stuff in there.
There's so much stuff so it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier when you get up in the morning and you kind of have that, David Goggins conversation with yourself, stare at your shoes for 30 minutes before you put them on. You can look at what's not going great with Rogers County or with Claremore, or you can focus on its superpowers.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Yeah. Are we going to focus on what we can't do?
Mm-hmm.
Or what's not going right?
Yeah.
Or are we going to focus on what we can do, what we can fix,
Yeah.
what is going right? Can we celebrate the people in our town and community that are doing awesome jobs every day
Every day.
with no thanks
Yeah.
whatsoever? let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm way more interested in that.
I guarantee you, if we start going up and supporting those people that are in those leadership roles and that are taking the time and doing that, and we start giving them praise and thanking them and doing what they're doing, it's not going to get worse.
It can only get better.
It's going to get better.
Correct.
Like you said, you look at the positive. It's only going to go up from there.
Yes.
You cannot. It's not going to get negative. Because it doesn't happen. There'll be negatives in there, but your positive's going to keep going up as much as you keep going that. They will feel better. They're going to put more time into it.
Absolutely.
They're not going to feel defeated. They're not going to leave after one session being in there going, I'm not doing this. This is not worth it.
And honestly, that's a real risk that we take, because a lot of these people who are serving our community, they have times where they wonder why they're bothering. Mm-hmm. Truly.
Yeah. Oh, I don't blame them.
Now, they all have a servant's heart, so they come back to, why, they know why they're doing it. But, we're all human, so of course, you take enough blows, you start wondering why you're doing this thing. And we don't want to lose our best community leaders and our best artists and our best, servants to just being beaten down.
You think it's bad now? It's going to be way worse then. We're not going to have what we have. You think it's bad.
Right.
It's going to be worse.
It'll be worse. Because at best you'd have a power vacuum.
No.
Where truly nothing is happening because there's no one in charge. So,
It's, like I said, we just need to start putting that out there into our community.
Absolutely.
Just talk to them. Show up. Go out and see these places.
Listen to them.
Like, I will be the first one to admit I have pulled myself back, especially since COVID. Like, I've gotten comfortable being at home.
Yeah.
I'm not who didn't
of
during
course.
COVID, right? So like, I'm comfortable doing that. Like, and it's not. I'm lonely. I've got my family, but we're lonely. We miss those things. So we miss going out. Like going out to Comic-Con with my family this weekend. Like probably 6 months ago, I wouldn't have done that because I couldn't get out. I didn't want to.
Right.
But I lost that connection with that, and getting out there and talking to these people, and like I said, I didn't want it was hard. It was a fight. Like I don't want to go do this morning. Like I don't want to. But it's so much. It was worth it. It was so much fun. It was enjoyable. Like my kids loved it. They got to have fun with mom and dad.
Yep.
That's what they care about. They enjoyed it. So like doing those things and going out there and putting that positivity into it and showing like, okay, let's go. We can grow it. And so we're gonna place. We love Will Rogers' Birthways, the house out there. That is one of our favorite places. It's our kids love it. Like it just, you get out there and I just feel comfort. Like you sit on that porch and you look at it
because you're touching grass.
Yes, you're touching grass. You smell the trees. You hear the animals. You see the longhorns walking through. You're just like.
Nature is underrated as a healing component.
There's so much. We have so much of that here. Yeah. We have so many trails.
That's why I'll never move away.
You've got the bike trails that they've worked so hard over here at Climber Lake to do.
The nature reserve at RSU is amazing.
And they've worked so much on that and got that. Yeah. It's great.
It's great.
There's so much stuff to do. So just take the time and go out and do it. Because I guarantee you're going to start seeing all those positives coming out a lot more than those negatives. Yeah, there's a pothole. But guess what? We just went through 2 weeks of rain and snow and ice and salt. And it's going to happen anywhere you go.
Yeah.
But what were they out there doing? Standing in the middle of the highway on Route 66 down Lynn Riggs. Guys putting and patching.
Yeah.
They're out there working, doing it for you guys. They're getting it. It may not be in the time that you think it's going to happen.
Right.
It needs to happen right now. Guess what? You're not the only person in the world. So it's going to happen. It'll happen. Just give it some time. Work with them. Because that's the way it goes. Yeah. They're getting it done.
Yeah.
Focus on those things.
Try to suppress your main character syndrome.
Yes, he gets a little riled up sometimes,
You're not the main character. You are the main character in your story, but not everybody else's.
Not in the big picture.
There's a component of understanding, I think, that's sadly lacking. Really, people rush to judge instead of to understand nowadays. And I find that rather sad. I have always been the sort of person that I would rather find out as much as I can about said situation before I really start drawing any conclusions. Like, I might be able to guess. I'm good at foreshadowing, so I'm pretty good.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right? I can kind of guess, yeah, based on these things, I bet this is what happens. But until the thing happens, I try not to,
Yeah.
Cast any aspersions on what I'm looking at. But still, I just think that there's a sad lack of empathy, a sad lack of understanding. And truly, those things can all be combated with getting plugged into the community.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, not even if you're not ready to volunteer, just go to the events.
Just go to the things. You don't even have to talk to anybody.
It is.
If it's hard for you to talk to people,
yeah, don't talk. Just walk.
Just don't talk. Just walk.
Just look.
Look around.
Enjoy.
I promise, no one minds that you're, by yourself, or with your mom, or that you have your dog. I'm pretty sure people take their dog to food truck Thursdays. Nobody minds that. No. So and exposure therapy is a real thing.
It is. It is.
Exposure therapy is a real thing. And again, when people say, but that's hard, I agree.
Yes.
But hard things are worth doing.
Yep.
It was hard writing 3 books in the last year and a half. But they're written.
Yeah. But they're written. But you've realized, too, you're going, I need to take a break.
I need to take a break.
I need to take a break because I don't want to rush it.
I don't want to rush it.
So, those books have been put on pause, but what other ways can, you've got other stuff out there that people would read.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what other stuff do you have out there that people can...
So I just had a short story published, I think it came out February 9th, in a book called A Bit of Luck. It's an anthology that is actually put on by the Superstars conference that I go to. Proceeds from sales of the book go towards their scholarships, because they do offer a lot of scholarships to new writers, emerging writers, things like that. And it's a closed anthology. It's only for people who have been to Superstars. And so that way, they feel like there's a certain quality level going in, that the stories are going to be of a certain level to start out with. Right. And when I went the first year, I didn't know it was a thing until they announced, we're going to, here's our anthology. Congratulations, everyone who's in this year's. Here's our theme for next year's. And I was like, oh, baby.
Yeah, I want that.
So they announced the theme, and I thought to myself, I'm going to give myself 3 years to get into this anthology. Just a goal for me.
Yeah.
So that first year, the theme was Of Wizards and Wolves was the title. And it's kind of a swords and sorcery. They wanted wizards in it. They wanted wolves in it because, one of the founders of the conference, Dave Farland, that was his pen name. He actually, I think he might have written under Dave Wolverton too, but he had passed away right before the conference started. And so the anthology was a tribute to him. And so I submitted a story, and I made through, I think, 3 or 4 rounds of edits and culls, and I got cut in the final, which was totally fine. Yeah. She gave me the editor gave me feedback on why, and she's 100% correct. And I have since rewritten that story, and it's actually going to be coming out later this year in a different anthology.
Awesome.
That I've been writing for a while now.
Yeah.
But that story, I have a story out, so I didn't make it last year. And then they announced the theme for this year because another of the founders of the conference had passed away. Eric Flint had passed away, and he's well known for writing alternate history. So I made it into this anthology, and I was really proud of myself for that. And it's an alternate history, and the cover is amazing. The cover of this book is Eric Flint, dressed as Napoleon, riding a Harley, riding away from a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Awesome.
It's the best. And so I have a short story titled Out of Habit in that book, and I'm pretty proud of that. And I have some other short stories and some other anthologies. I have one called Tourist Trap that's in an anthology titled Mirror Mirror by Word Crafter Press. And then I have, I feel like I have a lot going on and yet nothing at the same time. Mostly I've just been focused on these books because... I had started, and it's funny because the books even started out as a short story. I found an anthology call for, they were looking for weird Westerns, in some, I think they were actually out of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that sounds fun. I've written a lot of stuff, but I've never written a weird Western. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
So I wrote the story and loved it.
Yeah.
Sent it in. They rejected it, which
happens.
That's part of the game.
Yep.
But when the Jeff Brown was the gentleman's name,
Mm-hmm.
he rejected it, but he said, basically, not this time, but try again.
Mm-hmm.
Which in the writing community, if you're invited, if they tell you, try again, that's a pretty good sign. And so I thought, oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'll do something else later. So I put the story aside. But the character, my main character's name is Jenny Sutton.
Can we pause real fast?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
Had to go. It happens. Life.
So I wrote the short story and put it aside. And the character, Jenny Sutton, would not stop telling me all the crazy stuff that was happening to her. She's meeting Sasquatch, and she's killing werewolves, and she's running from vampires, and she's being drained of her life energy by ghost soldiers, and like just all this crazy crap that I'm like, all right, I gotta write this down, because the raccoon in my brain is just like giving me all these little nuggets of gold, like forever washing all these awesome ideas and handing them to me, and I'm writing them down as fast as I can. You should see. I should have brought my notebook to show you, because
you should see my notes on my phone. I'm right there with you.
I need unlined sketchbooks, because the lines really, I can't.
Yeah.
All right, no,
let it go.
I don't want your lines. So she kept telling me all this stuff, and so one day I just said, you know what, just start at the beginning and tell me what happened. And it was kind of funny. In my head, the framing story, sorry guys, I just got back from Colorado, and like, I know my voice keeps cracking, and like the air was so dry there, and it just shredded my throat and lungs. But anyway, what the hell was I saying, Phil?
She was telling you about like all her stories, and you were like, I gotta
write this down.
And you're like, I gotta
write this down. And so I started writing it all down, and it's just, I don't know from 1 minute to the next
where it's gonna go.
And it's kind of funny, because I would be writing. I'd come home from work, and I would write for a little bit. Steve would go out to the jam shack to play guitar, and he'd come in after an hour and a half or a couple hours, and I'd be sitting on the couch, I'm sure with a weird look on my face. And
those looks.
I would always say something off the wall like, hey, did you know fairies have poison blood? And he'd be like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, I didn't either till an hour ago.
I just came up with it.
And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know why they do, And
they turn into something later on.
It always does.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I don't want to give any spoilers, but I will tell you this, because you personally will appreciate this. So book 3 is basically, I have packed these books with Easter eggs. There are so many Easter eggs in these books, and some of them are for me. Mm-hmm. Nobody will ever know. You'll just think I just named the boat that because it's just a name for the boat, right? In my head, I'm laughing hysterically. Yeah. There are so many Easter eggs in these books of just things that I love, things that have influenced me over time, references to things that and none of them will kick you out of the story. Yeah. It's just things that I love. But book 3 in particular is basically a love letter to Jim Henson's Labyrinth.
Yes.
And the 36 Chambers of Shaolin.
Yes.
And I know that is such a weird combination. But anyone listening, that's exactly the right mashup for you to understand how my brain works.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And
you already know that I'm all down with Labyrinth and all that.
I know how much you love the Labyrinth. I do too. It's a childhood favorite. I think I watched it 6 months ago or so, actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I mean, my youngest daughter's named Bowie. after David Bowie.
There you go.
So yeah, that that makes me intrigued because I'm like, hey, that's...
Well, and here's what's funny. So at the end of that book, my writing process is I know the overall conflict. I know the big problem.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue how they're going to solve it. And I set up the big problem pretty much page 1. Mm-hmm. Page 1, at least chapter 1. Like, you're going to know immediately.
Like, oh.
I drop you right in.
It's one of those, like when you watch a TV show and you go, your first episode, and bam, you're like, whoa, what happened?
I mean,
you figure it out. You're like, okay, we got it. I mean, it's not like a play, but you're like,
I
it's
believe
here, right?
in the late in, out early thing. Like, you don't start the story with getting up and having a shower and brushing your teeth and eating breakfast. You start the story with you're standing at the kitchen sink and you see ninjas coming across the lawn.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're stuck.
Right. I don't
Why
care
are there
about,
ninjas
I don't
coming?
care that you're waking up and brushing your teeth. Tell me about the ninjas.
Yeah.
So that's how I write my books. You know, pretty much right off what the problem is. This is going to be a bad one, and then I take you on a adventure ride to solve the problem. Yeah. And it's not solved pretty much till the end every time. Yeah. But you know, I try to put there's a lot of heart in these books. You know, there's a lot of I try to make them as real as I can, and I know that's crazy to say since I have all these supernatural elements in it. But like, she has to take care of her horse for one thing.
Yeah, normal thing.
Horses aren't these, you know, machines that never need fuel and never need rest and
running miles and miles and miles in movies and books.
That doesn't happen, you know. So in the sense of, I try to ground it in the real world in that way. You know, she's got to take care of her horse. You know, at one point, chapter 1, she twists her ankle, which is ironic. I told my husband last night, I was like, at least I'm not running from a bad guy with a twisted ankle right now, because I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, but I try to make them, you know, even things, I try to represent people as much as I can without making it obvious that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So one of her little quirks is that she meets a Sheriff Ed Hayes, in chapter 4 of the first book. And she literally, they go through a lot together. Mm-hmm. She calls him Sheriff all the time. And it bothers him because they've been through a lot, you know? And I think at one point he's like, you call me Ed. And she's like, I can't.
Yeah.
And he says, well, you know, why not? And she says, it's just how my brain works. Mm-hmm. Like, when we first met, you're the sheriff. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And he asks her what'll change it. And she just says, time, you know? And he totally accepts that.
Yeah.
And so, because that's how my brain works. You know, you talked at the very beginning about how...
You've got a different brain.
I've got a different brain. But that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
When I record a fact, I really need it to be correct the first time, because it's hard for me to change someone's name or to change, you know, if you tell me your date of birth, I'm going to remember it forever. But if you tell me wrong,
I'm going
to know it wrong forever. So just little things like that I try to put in there to make her more of a real person, and so that people can identify.
And say, I can say, you sent me a piece of, like, you write. And it was at a time where, you know, I was struggling and I was just unloading everything. You're talking, and like I told Steve in the last one, it's like my own little personal guru. Like, I texted, I get these words of wisdom, and I'm like, you know, and it's like, I mean, you're right, you know, like, yeah, you know, and so, like, you sent me a little snippet of it, and you're like, I just wanted you to see this, and you're like, I think you needed it. You know, I just came, like, I wrote this, and I was like, oh, yeah, it like stuck there, and I was like, all right, I'm reading it, and I'm like, well, I connected with it. Mm-hmm. I did. I was like, well, I got goosebumps because I know what you said. I'm not gonna go out there and start saying all the words, but I know what you said. And because it really was what was going on. You know, like it really did play to, wizards and this and that, but it played to what was really happening in my life and how I was feeling. You know, because sometimes we do feel like we were being chased by monsters.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Every day. You know, there are those things. We do feel like that. And so, may not be literal, but you can still connect with that. Like, it's not all good and gravy. These things are monsters. They're people. Sometimes it's inside of ourselves that we're fighting with those things. You know,
Indeed.
There's a monster. It's chasing them.
Yeah.
So you know, you can grab that and go, oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, I understand that. All right, you know, you said taking care of the horse. I understand that. I have maybe not a horse, but you've got a dog or something. Those
Sure.
things are
Absolutely.
Because if, like you said, if the horse just runs miles and miles and miles, and it's not a magical horse or anything. It's just a horse. You can't do that.
Nobody's gonna believe that.
And if you're like me and you like we're the ADHD, but like, that doesn't make sense. I'll be watching TV like, what? Why didn't they just go do that and then they wouldn't have had to worry about? You know, it's just like that don't make sense. Like you didn't like it happens. Like big TV show that watching.
I have a desperate need for things to make sense, and I'm not saying that everything in this book
Right.
is like perfect and gonna make these books. But I'm trying real hard to make it as much sense as possible. Yeah, to make it as real as possible, despite the supernatural, you know, subject matter. But you know, even at one point, she's in a dangerous situation and she's alone, and she knows that there's enemies, and she thinks to herself, "There's a staircase," and she's like, "I ain't going up there." That'd be a really stupid thing to do. I'm not going upstairs.
The one thing that we're always, don't go there.
That's one thing people gripe about in like horror movies and stuff. Is like, oh, let me go upstairs, and then they get trapped upstairs with a monster and they're dead.
Right.
Well, she's smarter than that, everybody. My main character is not that stupid. She is an intelligent smartass, and you're gonna love her.
Love it. So it's kind of like Julie Jones.
I will tell you what, I sent the first 3 chapters to my cover artist so he could get a feel for the character, because she's going to be featured on the first book. But he called me and he said, I read these 3 chapters. She's basically you.
You said, intelligent badass. Well, I mean, that's
like,
Julie Jones right there.
Guys,
Like,
I did not Mary Sue this as much as it sounds like I did. I promise. She's way cooler than me. Jenny Sutton is way cooler than Julie Jones. She's way more capable. She's way funnier.
I don't know. The truth is,
she's something though. I think you know, it warms my heart to hear you say that quote I sent you did what I wanted it to do, because that's really all any writer ever wants out of their work, is for it to mean something to somebody and
even
to
if it's
help
one person.
them in some small way.
Yeah.
You know, we're just.
I mean, I even passed it on to a friend that was struggling too. I was like, I know, like, but I knew she needed it too, and I knew Julie was like, yeah, do it. If you would have told me, send it right to her, because it was she needed it, and she took it. She was like, oh, that's good. And I said, yeah, I'm telling you.
I mean, I can say the quote right now if you think.
Go for it.
All right, so it might help somebody out there sometime. So this scene is from about the middle of the book. Jenny has gone to, she's gone to another realm, and she's talking to Queen Mab. Queen Mab is Queen of the Fairies. And Mab says something to her, and Jenny says, "You don't want me, I'm broken." And Mab says, "All thinking beings are broken. It is our fate to break and remake ourselves many times over, and to understand that the mended places are where we're strongest."
Yeah. I'm tearing up. Yeah, like.
Listen, all writers write as a form of therapy. We're all being our own therapist by doing this in one way or another. We're talking to ourselves probably more than we're talking to our readers.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our monsters.
Yeah.
To get out and to work on and to come to terms with. And you know, for some of us, and I've still got my own monsters and demons to wrestle with, but I have slayed a few in my day, and if I can illuminate a path for others to be able to find the tools to slay their own.
Make it a little
Wouldn't
easier.
that just be
Right?
the bomb.com?
Like, what can be better than that?
That's the
Right.
ultimate right there.
It's simple, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those things you just don't. You don't think about it. It's just you say it and you go. It's one of those. It's the Julie Jones. She says it and you go, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Like it's just what it is. That makes sense. And it really hit because I struggled this last year. Like the last year was very hard on me, and mentally I was very hard on myself. Because I know that I've not been perfect and I've made a lot of mistakes, and that's hard for me to adjust to. Not only the fact that I'm still upset that I hurt the people that are closest to me, and a lot of those things, and even friends that I've lost friends, and I've burned a lot of bridges, and it hurts. And I think it all caught up to me at once, and
Possibly.
I went, whoa, I need to stop. And I'm not a bad person. I'm not a murderer. I'm not, I'm not this crazy person. But we all make bad choices, and we can't compare our bad to somebody else's bad, because that's not right. Because your bad, even though it may be different, it can still be bad, and it can be just as bad.
Sure, I got a busted ankle right now that I'm.
Right.
I know people, and it's nothing against them at all, but they wouldn't have left the house today.
Yeah.
This would defeat them.
Yeah.
In a small,
Me and
short-term
Steve
way.
both were on both sides of you walking up my stairs.
I wasn't getting up your stairs without help.
No.
That's for sure. But yeah, my friend James Owen has a really great quote that he shares with everyone at Superstars every year, and it struck me kind of the way my quote struck you. And he says, "Don't let what you want in this moment jeopardize what you want most." So kind of like, you didn't necessarily want to go to the Comic-Con this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sounded hard. But what you wanted most was to spend that time with your kids and make those memories and go do the thing and have that feeling, that feeling of accomplishment and that feeling of, I did that today.
Yeah. They loved it.
They loved it.
Yeah.
And so you would have sacrificed that to the altar of the moment.
Yeah.
If you had allowed yourself to do that. And I think sadly, a lot of folks do that. I think that a lot of folks end up not writing books or playing guitar or starting podcasts or learning to bake or volunteering at community events or you name it, because there's a barrier there in their mind that it seems hard.
Yeah.
And
what if this? What if that?
What if this? Hard. What if that? It's going to be hard. What if you don't?
Yeah.
What if you get to the end of your life and you've done none of those things?
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing of all.
How are you going to be, like, to think about how more upset you will be that you're just like, I am so, like, you didn't even try.
I may sell no books at all, Phil.
Right.
I may put these books out and nobody even cares. Nobody buys them. Nobody reads them. It is as it is. But at least I wrote them.
Yep.
At least I put them out there.
Mm-hmm. You were happy with it. Right?
The art is worth making.
Yep. Whether
or not anyone else ever sees it, enjoys it, pays any attention to it, it brought fulfillment to my life.
Yeah. I 100%, like my mom, you have to enjoy the journey of it, and it's
journey before destination.
It's not. We like to look at that destination. Yeah, I want to get there,
sure.
But like, I was so anxious about what are people going to think, what are this, or are they going to listen, or this or that, and she's like, just enjoy the journey. It doesn't matter. You gotta have fun doing it. I said, well, yeah. She was like, well, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And you can, if people listen to the first episode, even to now, I am getting more comfortable. I'm getting more relaxed. I'm getting better. And I was scared. Like, I've known Steve for how long, and he's a friend. But I'm still nervous what's going to be out there, and what people are going to say, or what, bring up the past and things like that. I'm not that person I was even 2 years ago.
Well, it would be sad if you were.
Right? I am not that person. And
thank God.
And you know, a lot of that, and that's a lot of most of the time when I disappeared. You know, a few years ago I disappeared, just kind of went off and did my thing, and that was when people knew. That's
if you
all
gotta
I
go
left.
get your mind right, you gotta go get your mind right.
Got married,
That's another
had my
quirk
kid.
of Jenny Sutton. She gotta go get her mind right sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's a necessary component of being a human.
I don't always suggest. I always tell this to people. I don't suggest this to everyone because this is not the way to do it. But Emerson, when I had him, it was like what I needed. Mm-hmm. It really I always he saved my life. He knew it came when I needed it.
Yeah.
Because I honestly if he wasn't here, I either wouldn't have kept going, or I would have gotten myself into trouble and I would have been in jail.
Yeah.
Or killed. And it was what I needed at that time. I'm not telling everybody to have babies because that's not easy and it's not always the right way to do it. It just so happened that, and I have to give myself credit for a little bit too, because I don't get this. Everybody's like, oh, they were so strong. They give them that power. They did it. They worked at that. They worked hard. People with cancer, things like that. They are pushing their body. Give them the credit for it. So take credit for yourself. When you do something small, take a little bit of credit for it.
Sure.
But I stepped up.
Yes.
I went, no, I'm going to be dad.
Yeah.
And I stepped back and I wasn't dating. I didn't do anything because people know how I was before. I all over the board. I don't care. I was going. I was going, and so I stepped back. I was like, I don't want my boy to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that. It's not. It sounds fun. It does. It sounds fun. It's not. It is, but it's not. Because when the moments are over, you're by yourself.
Right.
You really are.
No real connection.
There's nothing there. You're by yourself. Yep. If you're not going out and being involved, your friends aren't there anymore. Sometimes you lose that. You get to an age where you start to lose that.
Yeah.
It happens and it hits it. People talk about it. And it hits.
Yeah.
You go, what? And you realize who those people are, and you realize it's okay that we haven't talked for 2 months. You have a life.
Yeah.
I have a life.
Yes.
And you do, and those are the people that stayed for 10 plus years.
Yep.
I mean, and so building that strength and finding those people is very, very good, very lucky. I don't want to say lucky because it's not lucky. It's something else. It is something that it's the energy of the people that that they give, that you do, and keep them working and not giving up, because those are the people that you do want that around you. You don't want that to do. And
you got to have that community.
Yeah.
You got to have the community cheering you on.
Yeah.
While you suck. Because you're going to suck for a while.
Not going to be.
Everybody's going to have you ever heard the famous quote by Ira Glass about the difference between taste and ability?
I think I have, because I know Ira Glass, so it's not, but
I'll let everybody look it up, but just to paraphrase, basically what he says is that when you start something new, your taste is awesome. You have great taste.
Yeah.
That's what got you interested in the thing.
Yeah.
You taste in music is fabulous.
Yeah.
But when you first pick up the guitar, you're gonna suck. You're gonna suck for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really hard because your taste never changes.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Mm-hmm.
But your taste is good enough to know that what you're producing isn't up to your standard. And a lot of people will quit because they'll convince themselves that they can't do it, or it's too hard, or it takes too long, or whatever. And that kind of goes back to the great filter, what we talked about earlier, of persistence and working hard. But that's the great chasm that you have to overcome if you really want to do something and do it well, is you have to understand that your taste is awesome, but it doesn't live up to your ability right away.
Yeah.
So you have to work on your ability and bring it up to your taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
and and that's fine.
And that's great to have have such great taste.
It's great to have great taste.
But keep going.
But keep going.
You can do it.
Right.
You know, they say it's such a they say it's you do something every single day. It's such a minimum time. It's like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. You do it every single day. You're going to be better than the people that do it because you're trying just a little bit.
Yep.
Like you said.
Yep.
You do it every day, just a little bit.
A little bit.
You're going to get better. You're not going to be good at first. It's going to suck. Your fingers are going to hurt when you're trying to play the guitar.
Neil Gaiman wrote Coraline at 50 words a day. That's not, 50 words a day is,
That's not.
What is that, half of a tweet?
Right? You really think about it.
Seriously.
50 words.
Yeah, 50 words a day.
Sounds like
the pace that he wrote Coraline.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot of professional writers. I think John Scalzi writes 1,000 or 2,000 words a day because that's his quality output for the day. You know?
Take it where you get it. Yeah.
Sure.
People don't realize sometimes that there's a bandwidth.
There is a bandwidth. Oh, there's such a bandwidth to any kind of artistic endeavor. Yeah. But, you know, what takes John Scalzi, it might take him 3 or 4 hours to get 2,000 quality words. That might take a beginner 8 hours.
Yeah.
But again,
he took
he's honed his craft until, you know, he doesn't have to watch for helping verbs because he's weeded them out already.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have to weed out the word very. You know, it's kind of like the old scene from, I think it's Dead Poets Society, where he's, you know, somebody's not very tired, they're exhausted. Yeah. You know, there's all these little editing things that you just learn to do as you go because, you know, in the beginning you write crap.
You just put it out.
So, you can't edit a blank page, so put it down. You can't edit, you know, a blank podcast. No. There's, you know, if there's
nothing there.
If there's nothing there, you can't edit it. You can't get better if you don't practice. Yeah. So, you know, if your listeners take nothing else away from this podcast, take away 2 things. Get plugged into the community. Be persistent. On both of those things. I mean, you're not going to go down to the first Food Truck Thursday and introduce yourself and have everyone in town putting you in charge of stuff and asking your opinion on things. Like, it's going to take some time to cultivate relationships, learn who everyone is, understand what their role is and everything. Yep. You know, and a great portion of wisdom is learning when to keep your mouth shut. Yeah. I'd say 80% of it.
I've learned a lot. I've learned that a lot. There's a lot of times that I will write things and then just delete it. I don't even do it. I'm like, I'm on a roll, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so good, and then I go, yeah, no, that's probably not going to be the best choice. I vented it, it got out, so that's good enough. But
I promise you, I have backed off more words than I have ever written.
I have to be really careful with this.
We've been here.
We're going on about an hour and 35 minutes. So I think we'll start to roll it up there, and the podcasts are going to go long. They're going to start getting longer as we go because we're getting more comfortable. I'm not as stressed out. Yeah. I'm not as, like I said, going through my bandwidth throughout that. Like 45 minutes, like that's it, I got to go. You know, an hour. Like, they're going to get longer too. I want
the way things are going.
I want these to be, you know, hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, something that can give you're driving to work, drive to work, listen to part of it, drive home, listen to the rest of it. You know, something like that. So, yeah. But I don't want to try to suppress the time that I'm giving to my guests because some of them may go longer. Yeah. Because we're just on a roll. And some of them may go shorter just because, you know, that person, that's what they want to do. That's what they got, and that's great.
Maybe all they have time for.
That's all they have time for. Yeah. So we can do that. But like, if we're rolling, I'm rolling. You know, and get ready because it's going to do that. And I know this. I'm going to hear this. Oh, podcast! You need to have every single one. I know. I've watched all the videos. I've listened to the gurus. I've read the forums. I know, but I don't want to do that. I want to let it flow. This is not going to be like, I don't want to be structured. It's not a robot. I just want to have fun and enjoy it. Yeah. And I don't want to be worrying that we've only got 7 minutes left.
and we haven't even talked about these things.
Yeah, like, who cares?
Yeah.
because I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And if we're getting to where it's just not a lot of things, yeah, we'll be like, okay, you know. But,
Thanks for coming.
yeah, but you know, if it's still flowing, we're gonna flow with it. You know? That's what I wanted to do. So, but like, before we start to roll off, I'm gonna do one thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't do this with your husband.
Okay.
We talked about this, and I didn't even do it. It slipped my mind. I was like too worried about the whole podcast thing, and I've done it with our other guests. So, okay. That being said, that sound right now you hear is the train crossing. We're gonna take a second to stop. Hey, yeah, we all get mad about the train stop. We're gonna take a second stop, listen to music, have fun, just talk to your friends, right? So we're gonna go speed questions. And we're going to get to know a little bit about Julie, kind of just, little fun stuff. So.
Love it.
Yeah, and Julie helped write these questions, so she did.
I don't remember any of them.
I put some in there too, so there's some, but yeah, she helped write.
I don't think the raccoon actually put that one into long-term storage.
She gave me some, and then I took them and made it because I'm ADHD, and if I write that whole question out, I will be lost, and so I just made it to her. Boom, 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 boom. So she did help me. So, alrighty, here we go. The trains, the trains are coming. You hear the sound. It's not playing right now. Don't worry. But anyways, alrighty, here we go. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue is the best.
I love blue.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
It would be really cool to not need very much sleep.
That would be amazing.
If I could get a full night's sleep in 2 hours, that would be amazing. I would get a lot done.
That would be actually a really good superpower.
Yeah.
Quick energy, boom, boost.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. I've never heard that. That's a great answer. Coffee or tea?
Oh, tea. Well, I like coffee, but tea for sure.
Coffee, but I've had Julie Joe's sweet tea, and it's
my
more sugar than tea. Yeah, it's some of it.
It is sweet tea.
It is sweet tea, and it is delicious. All right, dogs or cats?
Both. I have both.
You have both?
I do have both. If you made me choose, I would have to say cats, just because they're slightly less needy. Well, they're a lot less needy. And I'm busy sometimes.
You're busy, so you're a cat person. That's good. Yeah.
That said, I do love my dog. She's amazing.
You're like, if you're listening.
Shout out to Zelda.
Sorry, Zelda. I still love you. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
I already know this one. Books or movies?
Oh, books. Books
Pizza
are always better.
Or burgers?
Burgers. Yeah.
Burgers, yeah.
I do love a good burger.
You can't beat a good burger.
Yeah.
Androids or iPhone?
Android.
I know you already. See, you have a different mind. It's just you Android people. Coach Hurt, he's an Android guy too. He said.
Oh yeah.
Summer, winter.
Oh, summer.
Yes. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Savory.
Yeah. My only real sweet tooth is tea flavored.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sweet stuff.
Occasionally I'll feel like some candy, but it's pretty rare.
Give me that savory. Huh?
Yeah, give me the savory. Yeah.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
So that's a good one for a writer.
Yeah. I do enjoy nonfiction though. There's a bunch of good nonfiction out there, but yeah.
Favorite childhood cartoon?
She-Ra.
She-Ra. Ooh, good
Princess of Power. I still have all my figurines.
I'll have to show you a video here in a second.
Yeah, I have all that.
That was He-Man too, so I'll show you the video later. Okay. It's awesome. He didn't know this recording. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Yeah, you just gotta get a laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, the drama makes it like sometimes comedy. You always go. Favorite superhero?
She-Ra.
She-Ra.
I know that doesn't fit the DC Marvel.
Just still a superhero.
I've loved She-Ra since I was little.
Yeah.
Little.
Back, yeah.
So.
I was more of a Thundercats.
I loved Thundercats though.
That was my.
Panthro was my boy.
Oh! Anyways, that was all I know, by the way. Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
City life or country.
Oh, I'm a country mouse.
I already knew that.
I'm a country mouse.
Music?
I tried to live in the city, didn't work.
No. I live in the city. I'm on the outskirts. So I'm almost I'm literally one of the last roads as you go towards there's a couple little roads and then Swans, and it pretty much takes over. So I smell the cows.
You're
so it's good.
You're country adjacent.
Yeah, we still smell it.
You're close enough to smell it.
And I'm not gonna lie, me and my wife both love that smell because it just makes you feel like,
I mean, if you're from Oklahoma, unless you're driving past a stockyard,
I like the smell of cow shit.
It's not that bad.
Music or podcasts?
Ooh, music.
Music.
Yeah.
Music just
does it for me. Yeah.
Morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl.
Yeah. But the older I get, the earlier I get up.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. I
just can't.
My brain goes.
My body's like, get out of bed.
Get up. Favorite vacation destination?
Ooh. Somewhere tropical.
Somewhere tropical.
Yeah.
You said the beach, so you're like,
I did say the beach. Somewhere tropical for sure. I am basically a tropical plant myself.
So you're like just.
I need sun and water and.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Last question, most important. We're Ross and Rachel from Friends on a break.
Repeat the question.
We're Ross and Rachel from Friends on a break. Did you watch Friends?
Never was a big Friends watcher. I'm aware of.
You know that everybody. I mean,
I'm aware.
Everybody knows the whole. Yeah. You just guess. Make one. What do you feel?
Yeah,
They were
I
on
think
a break?
so. Yeah.
They were on a break.
Yeah, I think so. It's less icky, I think, if they were on a break.
They were on a break.
Okay.
But that's the way I think. But I guess, I am the man on the side of it, so, you're part of it. And my wife still thinks
I'm of the opinion that none of them made good choices.
Right. Until they got older. They started to move on and get at the end. Hey.
And then the show was like, all right, thanks.
They're going to go be responsible adults now, so this is not going to be any good.
Yeah, so awesome. So we're ready to take off.
Train's passive. We got through it, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got this episode has been great. It's been so much fun.
Yes.
I'm so exciting. Thank you so much for coming. You've got, like I said, you also have books out that you guys that are collective with a group that you
here. The Last Wednesday Writers is the local writing group that I was with for a long time, and we published 3 books together. They're still available on Amazon. The first one is called Stories from Last Wednesday, because we were the Last Wednesday Writers. The second book is More Stories from Last Wednesday, and then the third book is titled Fused. And then I have a book of linked short stories titled Chain Reaction. That is on Amazon. I've got a few other short stories that are on Amazon. I'm actually, if you want to read them, you should probably get them while you can, because I'm probably going to pull them.
Go get them. So I'll put links. You guys can go to.
Yes.
Go here and go listen to them. I'm not much of a reader myself, but I know I've read Fused. I've read through that one especially.
Did you?
Yeah,
awesome.
I like that one. I thought it was great. It's hard for me to read. I get it. If my brain is going in a different direction and the words, I read it like 10 times and then I'm like, I don't get it, and then I move on. So it is a struggle for me sometimes. But
to that point, right quick, sorry. But the Weird Westerns, my intention is to have those available as audiobooks.
Awesome.
So they will be coming out print and ebook, but also at some point audiobook.
Awesome.
So if you do, and I have friends myself who have trouble, the printed word is not necessarily their friend. I get that. So let's make it accessible this way.
Yeah.
So hopefully, not too long after launch, and my plan is for book 1 to be ready in April of this year.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
I can do it.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's going to be fine.
I'm excited for it. So, guys, we'll have all those links in there. Guys, Julie really does put a lot. Not just writing, it's writing books. She puts a lot into our community. They do a lot. You may not see her out there everywhere doing it. That they're in the back. They're in the back. She does writing for other little things. We just had was it 20th?
It was the 60th.
60th, sorry.
Gridiron.
60th of the Gridiron.
Yep.
You helped write that with
Indeed.
a few
I was
people,
head writer
and-
last year. This year I wasn't. It coincided with the Superstars conference this year. So I wasn't as able to be as directly involved as I would have liked this year. I was just so busy with everything. But they did a great job. And that has been just a tremendous amount of fun, being involved with the chamber and being a writer on that for that. And, again, all volunteer. Everyone that does that's a volunteer. And it's been a community staple for 60 years.
60 years. 60 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
But, like, you and Steve both, you were out there doing it. You guys, thank you guys for all that. And I have to tell you, thank you for everything. Because, honestly, this podcast probably wouldn't be going on if I didn't have Julie Jones, like, one of those people in my corner. To be honest with you, like, it's seriously, like, there was a few people that have pushed me and got me through the fear and getting over that, because that fear has been heavy, and it
that imposter syndrome is rough, man.
And so, you've been one of those people that have really helped me. It wouldn't be possible. So
that's the point of community.
And I love Julie. Like, I went and bought a car with you.
You did.
I went and bought a car with you. That's how I love you. I went with Julie to buy a car because Steve had to work.
Steve was at work. And I needed a car real bad.
And we went and I went and bought a car with her.
And I was like, help me. Because, at that time, I don't know what, I haven't bought a car since then. I still have that car.
I know, you're still driving.
I'm still driving that car. I've had it 11 years. Okay, so there you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been driving that car almost 11 years.
But I love this woman. I love you so much.
I love you too, Phil.
Like, it's you have helped me through so much in my life, not even just now, even when I was younger and going through. And guys, go check out Julie's work. It's amazing. It's great. I'm telling you, if you didn't get just from that little snippet she gave us, like, the scope of what you're getting from these stories from her, then I'm sorry for you. Like, I just feel bad for you. Like, really.
Yeah.
So go check it out, guys. Julie, thank you so much. All the links are going to be down here, guys. Click on it. It'll take you to it. Go buy it.
Yep.
Because you do that.
My Facebook and Instagram are pretty funny, too, if you want to follow me there.
You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. They'll have that attached to there, too.
And juliejones.net. I also have my own website.
It's like, because I was looking at your website, not gonna lie. I saw the Wild West stuff. I already knew. But yeah, you can go check it out. The books, you can get to the books through
Yes, I will have links on my website where you can buy.
I think you can go through Amazon on there. I think you already have it.
I have the three books,
from the other
my,
ones.
my stories are in right now. Yep, I do have those, but as soon as these are available. And I'm actually thinking about doing like a two-pronged effect. I think I'll have them available through Amazon, and I think maybe I'll have an option where you can order direct. And if you order direct, if I go that option, they'll be signed.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Just a little extra something for readers that want to pay me directly instead of cutting Amazon in.
Getting it in. I have a signed copy of it.
You can have a signed copy of whatever you want.
I mean, I already have one right now, so I got the early ones. It's not even.
You did. Yeah, you came to the bookstore.
You
sure did.
Emerson I was holding Emerson.
You were holding Emerson. Yep.
I'm getting old. Anyways, Julie, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like.